Hello, everyone. It is Anna Kibble, your partner for everything real estate. And hey, Anna, how's the market? Gosh, I can't tell you how often I'm asked that question. It's a good question, right? Because the market's always changing. The answer's never the same. How's the market right now? Well, we are less than a month away from the election. Uh, Interest rates are starting to creep back up just a little bit, and we can see it in the market. And so there are some interesting things happening right now. And I want to talk about this. Let's take a look at it. All right. New listings, pending contracts, and active inventory. Why are these the three metrics that I'm tracking all the time? What the heck do they mean? Why are they important? All of those things. New listings. These are the number of homes that are for the first time being listed as active on the real estate market. This does not mean that they had a contract and fell out and came back on the market. This is just simply the first time they've come on the market. About 1,369 over the last 7 days. That is not a typical number. That is a pretty, that's about the right amount of listings coming on the market right around this time of year. Maybe a little bit higher than last year, but it's a little bit lower than last week, right? So it's a little bit lower than last week. So that number is starting to come down, you know, 7% from last week. So not a ton. It's not coming down a ton, but it should be coming down this time of year. We have a really reliable cycle in the Denver metro real estate market. And in the fall, the amount of people who are moving tends to decline. So that is people listing their homes for sale or active buyers on the market. It just starts to decline a little bit. There are less moves happening in the fall. Okay, so this is normal. This is what I'm expecting to see. Pending contracts. This number has been going up over the past few weeks, which is atypical for this time of year. Usually this number is kind of going down right along with new listings. So it has been coming up over the last few weeks until this week. It started to level off. We're down about 6% in pending contracts, really similar to the amount of new listings that declined last week. About 6% fewer buyers came on the market and said, I want to buy a house this week. Let's go. And so that I think is really directly tied to interest rates kind of climbing back up just a little bit. And buyers thinking, maybe I'll wait and see what happens after this election that's coming up in just a couple of weeks. So we'll calm down a little bit. This number typically also declining this time of year. Like I mentioned, in the fall in the Denver metro area, the number of moves happening gets a little bit lower and lower as we get towards the beginning of the year. So totally normal. We would expect to see this. And it's led to a decrease in active inventory, 2% down from last week. Now, when these two numbers both go down together, typically active inventory is going to go down also. We sometimes see these two numbers are in a different proportion, right? So I want you to see this: 1,369 new listings, 1,252 pending listings. That means 1,300 and change homes went on the market and only 1,250 came off. So that grows the active inventory by, in this case, about 85 units from new listings that came on the market and pending that came off. Is that right? No, about 115. Other direction. There we go. So there's a little bit of a difference there. It grows the active inventory number. Now, how does that number go down? Well, because there are other ways that homes come off the market. Sometimes people just choose not to sell. Their home didn't sell, and even though it's not pending, they've pulled it off of the market. Either temporarily, they've withdrawn it from the market, or their agreement with their realtor expired and it's no longer for sale. So all of those things combined to give us a net negative 2% homes on the market last week. All of these numbers super reasonable and normal for this time of year. Election year or not, we just tend to see a little bit of a softening in the real estate market in the fall. So the big question that goes along with it, hey, do those numbers indicate like some sort of big market crash? That's coming up again as well, right? Oh, I want to wait for the market to crash. Well, my crystal ball is hazy on this one, but I still see, even though buyer demand did go down a little bit, where we had a reduction in pending units, the amount of homes coming on the market went down as well. So as long as those two are following each other proportionately, then our supply and demand is fairly balanced. And when they're fairly balanced, well, we tend to see a fairly neutral market that doesn't really favor buyers or sellers. It's really situational. In some areas or at some price points, it might favor one over the other. Now, when those get out of whack, right? When we have way more homes coming on the market and fewer homes pended, well, that's when we can transition into a buyer's market. And that's when, oh boy, prices could fall. Now, the past couple of years, more often than not, it's actually been the other way around, right? Where we've had fewer homes coming on the market and more homes coming off of the market. And that's how we've seen such a strong seller's market for such a long time. Right now, fairly balanced. Like I said, it depends on a lot of factors: your price point, your area, the condition of the home, all of those things. If you want to know what market your home or your home search would be in, call me. I'm at 303-669-2194. This is Anna Kibble. I'm your partner for everything real estate in the Denver metro area. We'll see you soon.